What if I told you one of Hollywood's biggest stars was born into one of the most powerful filmmaking families in history, yet rejected the famous family name because he wanted to earn success on his own? Most actors spend their entire careers trying to stand out. Nicolas Cage built his career by being completely unpredictable. He has won an Academy Award, starred in billion-dollar blockbusters, lost nearly everything, then fought his way back to become one of Hollywood's most respected actors once again. But before the fame, the Oscars, and the unforgettable movie roles, there was a young dreamer determined to prove that talent, not family connections, would define his future. This is the incredible beginning of Nicolas Cage's story. A child born into Hollywood royalty. Nicolas Cage was born Nicholas Kim Coppola on January 7, 1964, in Long Beach, California. From the day he was born, movies were part of his family history. Unlike most children, who grew up watching Hollywood from a distance, Nicolas grew up surrounded by people who helped create it. His family name, Coppola, was already legendary in the film industry. But instead of seeing that as an easy path, Nicolas viewed it as a challenge. He knew that if he kept the Coppola surname, many people would assume every opportunity he received came from family influence instead of talent. That thought bothered him deeply. Even as a teenager, Nicolas wanted people to judge him for his work, not his relatives. That decision would shape the rest of his life. The parents who shaped his imagination. Nicolas was born to two highly creative parents whose personalities influenced him in different ways. His father, Auguste Coppola, was a respected literature professor, author, and academic administrator. Unlike many Hollywood families focused only on entertainment, Auguste encouraged education, literature, philosophy, and intellectual curiosity. Books filled the family's home. Discussions about art and storytelling were common. Auguste believed stories had the power to change lives, and young Nicolas listened carefully. From him, Nicolas developed a love for complex characters and emotional storytelling. His mother, Joy Vogelsang, worked as a dancer and choreographer. She brought creativity in a completely different form. Music, movement, and artistic freedom became part of Nicolas' childhood. Watching his mother perform taught him that emotions could be expressed without words. Years later, audiences would notice how physically expressive Nicolas became in many of his performances. He didn't simply act. He moved. He transformed. He became the character. Although his parents eventually divorced, both continued to influence him throughout his life. Growing up among creative geniuses, Nicolas wasn't the only creative member of the family. He has two older brothers. Mark Coppola became a successful radio personality and television host. His voice became well known across American broadcasting. His other brother, Christopher Coppola, followed the family's filmmaking tradition by becoming a director, producer, and screenwriter. Creativity wasn't unusual in the Coppola household. It was expected. Family gatherings often included conversations about films, books, music, and art. But there was another family member whose success cast an enormous shadow. That was Nicolas' uncle, Francis Ford Coppola, the visionary director behind the Godfather trilogy and Apocalypse Now. Around the world, Francis Ford Coppola was considered one of cinema's greatest directors. For Nicolas, that meant enormous expectations. People assumed becoming successful would be easy. Nicolas disagreed. He wanted to earn every opportunity, not inherit it. His cousins also became successful entertainers. Sofia Coppola would later become an Academy Award-winning filmmaker. Jason Schwartzman built a successful acting and music career. Talent clearly ran through the family. Yet Nicolas wanted to create his own identity. Why he changed his last name. One of the boldest decisions Nicolas ever made happened before most people even knew his name. He dropped Coppola. Imagine rejecting one of Hollywood's most famous surnames. Many people would have used it to open doors. Nicolas chose the harder road. Instead, he adopted the surname Cage. The name came partly from the Marvel superhero Luke Cage, whose strength and independence inspired him. He also admired avant-garde composer John Cage, whose willingness to break artistic rules resonated with Nicolas' own creative ambitions. The new name symbolized freedom. It meant he would succeed, or fail, on his own. No shortcuts. No famous surname. Only talent. Years later, many critics praised that decision because Nicolas truly earned his place in Hollywood through his performances. Childhood dreams. As a child, Nicolas had an imagination that seemed limitless. He loved pretending to be different characters. He entertained friends with impressions and dramatic storytelling. Sometimes he would act out entire movie scenes by himself. He wasn't simply playing. He was practicing. Teachers noticed he possessed unusual confidence when performing. Unlike many shy children, Nicolas enjoyed becoming someone else. That ability to disappear into a character would later become one of his greatest strengths. His fascination wasn't limited to movies. He loved comic books, fantasy, ancient history, mythology, classic literature. These interests eventually influenced many of the unique roles he chose throughout his career. Education. Nicolas attended Beverly Hills High School, where many future entertainers also studied. Being surrounded by aspiring actors only strengthened his dream. During high school, he became increasingly serious about acting. He watched classic films, studied performances, practiced constantly. Unlike students focused on traditional careers, Nicolas already knew what he wanted. Hollywood. After graduating, instead of enrolling in a traditional four-year university, he pursued acting full-time. He also trained at the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco, where he sharpened his understanding of dramatic performance. His education didn't end there. Every audition became another lesson. Every rejection made him stronger. Every small role prepared him for something bigger. The first steps toward Hollywood. Breaking into Hollywood wasn't easy. Despite his famous relatives, Nicolas refused to rely on family favors. He auditioned like everyone else. He accepted small roles. He worked hard to prove he belonged. His first film appearance came in 1982 with a small role in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Ironically, many viewers had no idea he was related to the Coppola family. That was exactly how he wanted it. Soon afterward, he landed a leading role in Valley Girl. The movie became a surprise hit and introduced audiences to a young actor with incredible energy and charisma. Critics immediately noticed something unusual. Nicolas didn't perform like anyone else. He wasn't trying to imitate Hollywood stars. He created his own style. Loud when necessary, quiet when emotional, completely fearless. That unpredictability would soon become his signature. The young man who walked away from one of Hollywood's most famous family names was about to become one of cinema's boldest performers. But the road ahead would be filled with Oscar-winning triumphs, blockbuster success, shocking financial collapse, unforgettable love stories, and one of the greatest career comebacks Hollywood has ever seen. Most celebrities disappear after a major setback. Nicolas Cage did the opposite. When life knocked him down, he kept making movies. When critics doubted him, he took bigger risks. And when people thought his best days were over, he delivered performances that reminded the world why he was one of the most fearless actors of his generation. Finding his own voice in Hollywood. By the mid-1980s, Nicolas Cage was no longer just another young actor trying to get noticed. He was becoming one of Hollywood's most talked-about rising stars. Unlike many actors who carefully protected their image, Nicolas wasn't afraid to look strange, emotional, or even completely unhinged if it made a character feel real. Directors quickly realized they weren't hiring a typical leading man. They were hiring someone who could turn ordinary scenes into unforgettable moments. One of his earliest breakthroughs came in Valley Girl, 1983, where his charm and quirky personality made audiences take notice. Then came Birdie, 1984, a powerful drama that showcased his emotional depth. In Raising Arizona, 1987, Nicolas blended comedy with heartfelt emotion, proving he wasn't limited to one genre. Every performance seemed different. Every character had its own personality. Hollywood had discovered an actor who refused to repeat himself. Becoming an Oscar winner. The biggest turning point in Nicolas Cage's career arrived in 1995. He accepted the lead role in Leaving Las Vegas. The film told the heartbreaking story of a man struggling with alcoholism. Instead of relying on dramatic speeches or flashy acting, Nicolas gave a deeply emotional, vulnerable performance. To prepare, he studied people battling addiction and immersed himself completely in the role. The result was unforgettable. Audiences were moved. Critics were stunned. Hollywood rewarded him with the Academy Award for Best Actor. The Oscar wasn't just a trophy. It was proof that Nicolas Cage had become one of the finest actors in the world, not because of his family name, but because of his extraordinary talent. The king of action movies. After winning the Oscar, Nicolas could have continued making only dramatic films. Instead, he surprised everyone. He became one of the biggest action stars on earth. One blockbuster followed another. The Rock, 1996, paired him with Sean Connery in a thrilling action-adventure that became a worldwide hit. Then came Con Air, 1997. With his long hair, southern accent, and unforgettable line, "Put the bunny back in the box," Nicolas created one of action cinema's most iconic heroes. Later that same year, he starred opposite John Travolta in Face Off. The movie became a cult classic thanks to its unique story and the incredible performances from both actors. Then audiences watched him race luxury cars in Gone in 60 Seconds. Soon afterward, he found even greater success with National Treasure, where he played treasure hunter Benjamin Gates. The family-friendly adventure became a global hit and introduced Nicolas Cage to an entirely new generation of fans. For nearly a decade, his name alone could fill movie theaters around the world. The man who spent a fortune. Success brought enormous wealth. At the height of his career, Nicolas Cage earned hundreds of millions of dollars. But unlike many celebrities, he didn't spend money cautiously. He bought medieval castles, luxury mansions, rare comic books, a private island in the Bahamas, exotic sports cars, motorcycles, works of art, even a dinosaur skull that made international headlines. His collection became one of the most unusual in Hollywood history. People joke that Nicolas Cage collected everything except ordinary things. But behind the extravagant lifestyle was a serious problem. As the global financial crisis affected property values and tax obligations mounted, many of his investments lost value. He reportedly owed millions in unpaid taxes. Suddenly, the actor who had once seemed unstoppable faced enormous financial pressure. Fighting back instead of giving up. Many celebrities disappear when financial problems become overwhelming. Nicolas Cage chose another path. He worked relentlessly. He accepted role after role, not because every script was perfect, but because he wanted to honor his financial responsibilities and rebuild his life. Some critics mocked the number of films he made. Others misunderstood his determination. Years later, Nicolas explained that he never stopped caring about his performances. He simply kept working. And eventually, that persistence paid off. Independent films such as Mandy, 2018, Pig, 2021, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, 2022, and Dream Scenario, 2023 reminded audiences and critics that Nicolas Cage remained one of the most gifted and fearless actors in Hollywood. His comeback became one of the industry's most inspiring redemption stories. Love, marriage, and relationships. Nicolas Cage's personal life has often attracted as much attention as his movies. Over the years, he has experienced several marriages, each marking a different chapter in his life. Patricia Arquette. Nicolas married actress Patricia Arquette after years of an on and off romance. Their relationship fascinated Hollywood, but after 6 years of marriage, the couple divorced. Despite the separation, both have spoken respectfully about one another. Lisa Marie Presley, 2002. In 2002, Nicolas married Lisa Marie Presley, the only daughter of Elvis Presley. Fans were captivated because it united two famous Hollywood and music legacies. However, the marriage lasted only a short time before ending in divorce. Even years later, it remains one of the most talked about celebrity marriages of the early 2000s. Alice Kim, 2004-2016. Later, Nicolas married Alice Kim, whom he met while she was working at a restaurant in Los Angeles. Their relationship lasted more than a decade. Together they welcomed a son named Coppola Cage. The name, Kal-El, is especially meaningful because it is Superman's birth name on the planet Krypton. As a lifelong comic book fan, Nicholas considered it the perfect tribute. Although the marriage eventually ended, Nicholas and Alice remained focused on raising their son together. Erica Koike, 2019. One of the shortest chapters in Nicholas' love life came in 2019 when he married Erica Koike in Las Vegas. Only a few days later, he requested an annulment. The marriage quickly became international news because of how brief it was. Riko Shibata, 2021 present. In February 2021, Nicholas married Riko Shibata in an intimate ceremony. Despite their age difference, the couple has largely stayed away from media attention. Friends describe the relationship as one of the happiest periods of Nicholas' life. In September 2022, they welcomed their daughter, August Francesca Coppola Cage, bringing new joy to the family. Chapter 14. His children. Away from the cameras, Nicolas Cage is a devoted father. He has 3 children. His eldest son, Weston Coppola Cage, was born in 1990. Weston has pursued careers in music and acting. His second child, Kal-El Coppola Cage, was born in 2005 and was named after Superman's Kryptonian identity, a reflection of Nicholas' lifelong passion for comic books. His youngest child, August Francesca Coppola Cage, was born in 2022. Nicholas has often spoken about how becoming a father changed his outlook on life. No matter how busy his filming schedule became, he always tried to make time for his children. A legacy unlike any other. Few actors have built a career as unpredictable as Nicolas Cage. He has appeared in more than 100 films, won an Academy Award, starred in blockbuster franchises, voiced animated characters, and inspired countless internet memes with his unforgettable expressions. But his legacy goes far beyond awards or box office numbers. Nicolas Cage proved that artists don't have to fit neatly into a single category. He can be dramatic, funny, terrifying, heartbreaking, completely over the top, or quietly emotional, sometimes all in the same film. His willingness to take creative risks has influenced a new generation of actors who admire his fearless commitment to every role. Today, many film lovers consider him one of the most original performers in modern cinema. Nicolas Cage's life is proof that success isn't about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down. He walked away from one of Hollywood's most famous family names. He earned an Oscar through hard work. He conquered the action movie world. He lost a fortune. He rebuilt his career one role at a time. And through every triumph and every setback, he never stopped being unapologetically himself. Because in a city full of stars trying to fit in, Nicolas Cage became unforgettable by daring to be different.